understood about how the chakras are formed, how the energy flow in your body, what are nadis, what are the important 10 gates, what are the important 3 gates. We learned about pranayam, what does it mean, and how does it open up your blocked channels in the body, that is blocked nadis in the body. Today, we are going to learn about the soul and how is it connected with our chakras, how the soul balances all the chakras, how the connection happens with the soul. So we all know about that the prana flow in the body, and that's why prana flow in the body, that's why we are alive. That's the reason it's called life force. But who conducts prana in us, in our body? It's a soul. They say soul is, or the atman, it is the part of that divinity. So we all have divine that reside within us. The only thing is we are ignorant towards it. We don't understand because of that maya, which engulfed us, which is all around us. We forget what is our real purpose and why have we taken birth. That the reason, because of this maya, we don't come out of the cycle of death and birth. We keep taking birth without realizing the essence of that soul that reside within us, which is the part of that divinity of divine. And the life, we learn about it, then we get enlightenment. We don't have to. And the meditation is the path to learn that, why we take birth, what is the purpose of taking birth, and what is the purpose that a human being has to achieve, the enlightenment. But is the purpose only to take birth, to learn, to go to the school, to get married, to earn money, become old, produce kids, become old and with full of diseases and to die? Is that the only purpose? No. Or to become famous also? Is that the purpose? Famous will give you happiness only for a short while. Then what? So the purpose of this life is to understand who we are, what we are, and why are we here? What is the purpose of this life? That is a purpose. So let's understand how this soul, this Atman is connected. What is the connection of this Atma with all our chakras and with our body? What is that? And then we will learn about the 3 bodies that each and every human being has. So Manav, can we have that audio visual? The
Yes.
soul? Thank you.
What is Atma? Soul or Atma is the immortal and spiritual body of light that animates life and reincarnates again and again until all necessary karmas are created and resolved, and its essential unity with God is fully realized. The chakras are the powerful energy centers of the soul. The health of our chakras affects both our physical and mental health. They are responsible to form a connection between our body and our soul and are transformers of energy. The first 3 chakras are more physical, the last 3 are more spiritual, and the heart, that is Anahat chakra, forms the connection between the physical and the spiritual.
Okay. So what is Atma? As it said, that the connection, Atma again leads or balances our chakras. Now, Atma is always in the spectator, in the spectator mode, the drashta mode. Atma, in fact, we Jeev, us, we human being, we have the willpower to for karmas and all, whether the bad karma or the good karma, is completely dependent on us. The Atma, the part of the divine being, is always a kind of spectator. It can warn you, but it cannot change your view. It cannot change your karma. The karma is completely dependent on your willpower. It is your will, and it is completely in your hand. So many times don't we say that, yeah, it is bad, I know. My conscience doesn't allow me. So what is that? Your conscience is what? Your Atma. The Atma inside tells you that this is not right. It can warn you, but it cannot change. It cannot change you. It can warn you, but it is completely dependent on your willpower. It is fully dependent on that. And you know how it is connected with the chakras. As I said, each and every chakra has a beach mantra. Each and every chakra is enriched in qualities. Now it is completely on us. What path do we follow? The good path or the bad path? Like, for instance, the Muladhara chakras, good qualities are stability, trusting others, confidence, and there are bad qualities also. So if we are not aware, we suffer from the bad qualities. What are the bad qualities or negative qualities of Muladhara chakra? Too much of ego, overconfidence, anger, fearfulness. So as I said in the earlier webinars, that when this chakra is overactive, that when the Mula chakra, because all the chakras has to remain in the normal or well-balanced, they have to rotate in a well-balanced manner. If they are overactive, that is bad. Underactive also bad. Underactive Muladhara chakra will give us fear, will make us more fearful. Underconfidence, I mean to say, no confidence at all, confusion, and we don't have any stability, and so we can't decide for us. And overconfident will make you angry, too much of ego, overconfidence, and you don't think anyone is worthwhile in front of you. And you feel that the person feels that they are the only intelligent person in the world. Whatever they think, whatever they have in their mind is the best thing. So both are bad, we know that. And whereas a well-balanced Muladhara chakra makes a person more stable, full of confidence, not overconfidence. Remember that, full of confidence. So these are the qualities. When we start meditating, these qualities automatically start seeping in. And the negative qualities start leaving your body or your mind or your emotions and all. That automatically, without your knowledge, it keep happening inside, because bija mantra, it actually, when you chant these mantras on a regular day-to-day basis, these things are bound to happen. For instance, if you plant a seed somewhere in the earth, the plant is going to come out. Initially, you have to take care of that plant. Ultimately, when it becomes a tree, then the tree takes care of you. That's what exactly happens. When the chakras become well balanced, all the chakras, then these chakras, the qualities automatically are so strong in you that your karma becomes much better. Your karma is very positive. There's no confusion. And your thought process is always very, very positive, which shows on your karmas. Your karma, your day-to-day daily activity becomes positive. Your thought process, you're happy all the time. You are faithful. You are trustworthy. You trust others. You give love to everyone. You are kind. So obviously, you lead a good life. And when if you are happy all the time, there's no stress, or you can manage your stress very well. So physical ailments also goes as away from you, or you can manage them very well. So automatically shows in your the whole personality, whether it is physical, mental, emotional, and ultimately the spiritual always follow. Similarly, your Muladhara, once your Muladhara chakra is well balanced, then you move on to Swadhisthana chakra. And we have already spoken about all the positive quality and the negative quality of all the 7 chakras. Once all the 7 chakras are well balanced, so all these quality, obviously, where will it go? It will be higher in degree in you. Once that happens, we are more human. Once we are more human, our karmas are much better. Once that happens, our future is much better because everything is connected inside. And then the chakra, we start understanding why we are here. What is a connection with our soul? Why we have taken birth. Once we understand that, we automatically start understanding the divinity inside that reside inside us. We get connected. And once that happens, and there's nothing like we get rid of the Maya, or the Maya cannot harm us. The ego and what are those Sadaripa or Sadaripu, what I keep talking about, they are in a very, very almost nil degree in us. That is Moh, Maya, Kam, Krodh, Isha, Ahankar. Moh, Maya is attachment and greed, jealousy and ego, and desire and anger. Then the degree is very less. We do it, we also learn to live in the present. Once that happens, don't you think your life will be much better? I'm very happy. We have so many examples in front of you. So we learn the true purpose of our life. That's what it does. The chakras gets well balanced, and it gives an introduction to us with it introduces us to our soul, our true self, which reside deep within us. But because of the Maya, it gets the illusion, we cannot see it clearly. There's so much of dust on it. It is not clear to us. We don't know what it is. So once all the chakras are well balanced, that dust gets removed, and we become more human. That's what I'm meant to tell you. And the lower 3 chakras are more tamasic by nature, because when our consciousness reside in lower 3 chakras, then that means at that time we are more worried about roti kapda makan, that is the eating. We are more connected with the eating, living, pleasure, and becoming famous. Once the consciousness start moving upward, then the Anahat chakra is a gate which actually tells us, which is the gate to either take us, when our karmas are much better, either it takes us upward or it takes us down. We have more 7 chakras below our Muladhara chakra, and those chakras can be found in a higher degree in animal kingdom, in animals, because to get our consciousness upward, a person has to be in a vertical mode, like how the spine is straight, and that's how we can take our energy upward. Whereas the animals, their Muladhara chakra and the Sahasrara chakra are in the same line, all the chakras. So their consciousness their prana cannot move upward. It remains in the horizontal state. So we have the 7 lower chakras. So we don't want our consciousness, our Chetna Shakti, to move down. We want to be more human. We want to take our chakras, our consciousness, our Chetna Shakti upward. So the Anahat chakra is the gate in between your tamasic and the sattvic guna. Once you move upward from the Anahat chakra, giving that unconditional love to everyone and sharing that, flowering your Anahat chakra, then we start moving upward to Vishuddhi, Agya, and then ultimately to your Sahasrara chakra, which gives us complete introduction with ourselves and with the divine inside. We understand that. That's what I wanted to tell you. Now, before we understand what is Kundalini, that I will be explaining, and we will be learning about the Kundalini Shakti, that primal energy that reside in us, in each and every human being, and that is always in a sleeping state. So what is that? That we will learn in the next webinar. But today, let's learn about before learning that, we have to understand three bodies of a human being. So Manav, can we have that audio?
Yes.
So first is the physical body. Please
Sure.
play that.
Yes.
Thank you.
The human being is regarded as composed of three bodies. First, physical body, also known as Sthul Sharir, which is made up of 5 elements, that is, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. 7 Saptadhatu, which are blood, fat, sweat, bone marrow, muscles, bone, and semen.
So our physical body that all of us we can see is made up of all these things. So 5 elements, the entire universe is made out of 5 elements. In fact, somebody asked me, what is ether? Ether is the void, is the Akash Tattva, the sky, void. So where does the void reside? The Akash Tattva reside in our body. In between two cells, there is nothingness, void. There is no air, there is no water, there is no fire, there is no earth, nothingness. And all these 5 elements are important and they need to be well balanced, otherwise we suffer from diseases. And obviously, the human body is made up of those 7 dhatus, what we just said. Otherwise, our body will not function. We all know that. It's all important. The bone marrow, your semen, then sweat, all of them, they are important. Everything. And our body is made up of that. Next body is the Sukshma Sharir. So during this time, what happened? We are only connected with the physical body. Now, by doing meditation, we understand what resides in a Sukshma body, the subtle body that runs our physical body. So what happens, what reside in our subtle body? Manav, can we have that audio visual also?
Yes.
And the second one is astral body, which is also known as Sukshma Sharir, which is made up of 24 principles or tattvas. 5 Gyanendriya, we have explained that earlier. 5 Karmendriya, 5 Pranas, 5 Tanmatras, which are to see, to hear, to taste, to smell, and to feel. Man, Buddhi, Chit, or the subconscious, and Ahankar, or the ego. In the subtle body exist the 7 chakras or astral centers.
So it is exactly like an onion. Like the seed resides at the center and it is covered with layers. In the same way, our body is also like in the layers and all. So the outer layer is the physical body, which we have already seen what reside in the physical body. Now the astral body or the subtle body, the Sukshma Sharir. So we have already spoken about the 5 sense organ, which is conducted, which is taken care by our, which is controlled by our mind, and 5 work organs, again controlled by our mind. Mind, again, what is the difference with the mind and the brain? So yeah, the brain can be spoken as our hardware and the mind as a software. So you can say the physical body is the hardware and the subtle body is the software. The software runs the hardware. Unless until we have the software, can you run your computer? No, we need that software. So mind and everything comes under that software. That is your 5 sense organ, 5 work organ. Unless until the brain controls, can I talk to them? I can't. You can't see me, because all these things has to be controlled by brain and are controlled by brain. And we have already spoken, they are all controlled by the chakras also. Like the Muladhara chakra, the root, we can smell the earth. So obviously, the nose and the smell, that tanmatra, the smell as a tanmatra of your nose is controlled by your Muladhara chakra. Then water, you can taste water, right? So Swadhisthana chakra controls your tongue as well as taste, the tanmatra. Then eyes, you can see fire. So Manipur chakra controls the fire element as well as your eyes, as well as seeing, the tanmatra. Then you can feel the air. You can feel cold air or hot air on your skin. So air element as well as your skin and the feel, the tanmatra is taken care by your Anahata chakra. Then lastly, your sound and hearing and your void, that is the Akash Tattva, is controlled by your Vishuddhi chakra. So all these sense organs are controlled by by the chakras. I just showed you the connection. Then your work organ also is controlled by them. Like for instance, your legs are controlled by your Muladhara chakras. Legs are controlled by your Manipur chakras. Because again, it is connected with the legs can be, when you have slip disc problem and all, what happened? You get pain in your leg. So your legs are connected, are controlled by your Manipur chakra. Anus, the excretion, is controlled by your Muladhara chakra. And then the urine, passing the urine, is controlled by your, the urinary tract is controlled by a Swadhisthana chakra because of the jal, the water element. Then your tongue. Your tongue is, your taste buds are controlled by your Vishuddhi chakras. And your hands are controlled by your hands are controlled by your Vishuddhi chakras, and tongue is controlled by your Agya chakras. So all these chakras control each and every work organ of yours. Then we have 5 pranas. As I said last time, that the prana flow in our body. And in whichever direction they flow, they have given name. There are 10 pranas, important pranas, but out of which 5 need to be discussed. And you must have heard their name a number of times. As I said last time, Apan Vayu, Saman Vayu, Udan Vayu, Vyan Vayu, and Pran Vayu. You know, when a person dies, the very first Vayu that comes out from their body is the Apan Vayu, that leaves the body. Then the second one is the Saman Vayu. Saman Vayu that reside in our stomach area. And when the body of the person who has died, it becomes completely cold, that means the Saman Vayu has already left it. Then the third that the prana leaves the body is the Prana Vayu. And then the fourth is the Udan Vayu, and the fifth is the Vyan Vayu. That's how they start leaving the body. So when the, okay, that is different subject. Let me not get into it. Anyway, in the subtle body, we have 5 pranas. as I said last time, that Apan Vayu controls the excretion, that is the stool and the urinary tract is controlled by Apan Vayu. Saman Vayu controls our digestion, and the Manipur chakra controls Saman Vayu. Then your breathing and the air element and the breath, breathing is, and our blood circulatory system is controlled by our Pran Vayu, and Anahat chakra controls that. Then our 5 sense organs are controlled by our Udan Vayu, and Vyan Vayu controls all the other 4 Vayus in the body. And that is 5 pranas in the subtle body. Then comes our Man, Buddhi, 5 Tan Matra we have already spoken, that's seeing, hearing, taste, feel, and sound. We have already spoken. Then Man is our physical mind, as I said. Chit is the intelligent mind, or you can say Jiva. And Buddhi is the intelligent mind. Chit is our Jeev, which has the willpower. And Ahamkar, Aham, that ego, which is the enemy of all of us. And all these 24 elements or principles are controlled by our 7 chakras in the body. And then finally, all these things that, as I said, it's covered the seed of the subtle body and the physical body is known as the causal body, Karan Sharir, or the causal body. Can we have that audio visual, please, Manav?
Yes.
Last one is causal body, the Karan Sharir. Before the birth of a human being, the cause on the basis of its prarabdha, that is karma. Causal body in the form of a seed is created. Then the seed is covered with the subtle body and finally the gross body.
So, what is causal body? So whatever, like so many times you must have experienced that I have not learned it, but during the time of some difficulty or some excitement, all of a sudden this is dawned on you that, okay, I have this capacity. I have this. And it surprises you at times. So what happened? How does it come? Like we hear that a 4-year-old kid can recite the entire Gita. Can they learn it at such a young age? No. How does that happen? Or we are born to certain parents, and we have our siblings. We get married to certain people, then we have kids. So how it is all connected? Because on the basis of your karma theory, you take birth to a set of parents, you have siblings around, you have friends around. That is pre-decided. But everything is dependent on your karma theory. So the beach, the causal body, is the impression of your past lives and past life karmas. On the basis of that, this life is decided, and you have the ability, you have your nature, you have your swabhav. That's what we say. We have our personality. Everything is dependent on that. You learn something, you get attracted to something. It is all pre-decided. It is all, again, it is completely, totally connected with your karmas. Because everything, you carry all those memory with you in each and every life, the past life memories, and you carry it with you. And you take birth, but again, you have that willpower. On the basis of that willpower, you do your karmas, and on the basis of that, your next life is decided. Your next life depends on that, on your karmas. If your karmas are good, then you take birth in a good family, in a set with a set of good parents who gives you value system. Along with the money and everything, values are so important. A terrorist or a politician also has, they are very wealthy, but if they don't have values, then what happens? Or in the household where the parents fight a lot, what kind of value the kid learns? Why do you think we have so much of depressions and all? Because the values are not given to the kids, or they are not they don't grow in a very secured manner where there's love and everything around them. That's the reason in the earlier time when there used to be joint family, and the kids used to receive love from their grandparents and the parents and all, they used to be very sound kids. Whereas today there's too much of depression, low value system. Why does that happen? Again, everything is dependent. So if our karmas are right, we are born to a good set of parents with good values and everything. We get introduced, we actually make good friends who again imparts good values to us. We learn good things. We get introduction to the meditation and all, and we want to walk on this path. So many times, so many people must have attended a lot of meditation workshop. How many of you do you think does it regularly? How many of you does it regularly? So again, everything depends on us, how we shape our life, how we shape our next life. Everything is dependent on it. That's what I wanted to tell you. Now, can we have the meditation, or you want to have the question answer session before?
Let's do meditation and then we'll do question answer.
Fine. So I know it will take much time. So 27 minutes or 37, whatever people feel like. I have no problem.
सब पूरे भक्त हैं, पूरा ही कराइए.
37 minutes, क्योंकि आगे जाकर later on, once we learn about the Kundalini, the meditation will be longer. It will be 46 minutes. So let's do 37 minutes today. Shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 In Gyan Mudra, resting on your lap, close your eyes and relax. Relax your shoulders, your hands and your legs. Relax every part of your body. Now, with a relaxed body, focus on your breath. On the flow of your breath, be it fast, slow, rhythmic, non-rhythmic, equal or unequal. Focus on the temperature of your breath. Feel the coolness of the air on the inside of your nostrils while breathing in. feel the warmth of the air on your upper lip area while breathing out. Now, with your eyes closed, look on both sides of your nose to stop inner eye movement. Let's begin with Omkar. Begin. Now, Brahmari. Now prepare yourself for Anulom Vilom. Assume the Pranam Mudra with your right hand and begin. Left in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. Gently bring your right hand back to Gyan Mudra. It is now time for square breathing in sync with the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. With the Sushumna Nadi now activated, we begin our chakra meditation. Let us start with the Muladhara chakra, which is located just above the anus. Place your complete concentration on that part of your body. You may feel vibrations or other sensations on that part. With that awareness, visualize a red lotus with 4 petals, having a golden yellow square at the center. This is the yantra of the earth element. Now, let us begin this divine journey by chanting the Bij mantra Lang. Begin With an awakened Muladhara at the base of your spine, we now move above to the region of water, the Swadhisthana Chakra, located just below the tailbone. To concentrate on this, visualize an orange lotus with 6 petals and a crescent moon in the center. This is the yantra of the water element. To balance emotions, let us chant the Bij mantra, Vang. Begin. Just as 2 bodies unite and become one, in blissful embrace. Visualize both the Muladhara and the Swadhisthana chakras rotating in clockwise direction and merging with each other. We have now synchronized the energy of the earth element and the water element and need to progress upwards towards the Manipur chakra, which controls the fire element. This is yet another step towards our final goal of achieving perfect harmony amongst all our chakras. Finally, all the chakras should be in perfect tune and rotate in the same clockwise direction. The Manipur chakra is located right behind our navel on the lumbar spine. To focus on that, visualize a yellow lotus with 10 petals. At the center, there is a red triangle, yantra of the fire element. The petals may appear to be made out of flames. And now, in keeping with the rotating movement of the lower chakras, to uplift your confidence and self-esteem, let us chant the Bij mantra Rang. Begin. Filled with confidence and leaving your ego behind, we now rise from Manipur chakra to the region of air, the Anahat chakra, located right behind the heart on the path of the thoracic spine. We find here a green lotus with 12 petals, with a star at the center, yantra of the air element. Soar into the softness of the sky. Feel liberated. Chanting the Beach Mantra Young will support this quest. Begin. Filled with passion and unconditional love, with an awakened Anahat chakra, it is time to move above to the subtle region, signifying the ether element Akash Tattva. This is the Vishuddhi chakra, located right behind our Adam's apple on the path of the cervical spine. To concentrate on this chakra, visualize a blue lotus with 16 petals, with a circle at the center, yantra of the ether element. Listen to the gentle whisper of your inner voice. Experience complete surrender. Now let us chant the Beach Mantra Hung. Begin. Your emotions are now flowing, taking you into the depths of your inner world. It is now time to move above to the higher chakras, starting with the Agya chakra, the third eye chakra, located between the eyebrows. For that, visualize an indigo lotus with 2 petals, with Om at the center. Om, as you all know, is the universal mantra and also the yantra of the Manas element, or the lower mind. To get rid of Maya, illusion, to gain awareness of your inner self, we will now chant Om 3 times, which will help to stabilize your lower mind. Begin. You are now in deep meditation, in a state where the mind is free of any kind of conflict, virtually devoid of thought. The mind is completely blank. In this state of equilibrium, we move above to the Sahasrara chakra, located at the crown of the head. Feel this sensation in this part of the body and visualize 1,000-petaled lotus, violet in color, gradually blossoming, opening up gently to reveal in its manifold layers. The shivling at its center, the yantra of our higher consciousness, the supreme power. To get connected to the higher mind, now let us chant the Bish mantra Soham silently. For that, while breathing in, chant So silently, and while breathing out, chant Hum also silently. Begin. Let the image of shivling expand and get elevated. Focus on your energy and allow it to merge with the shivling. Now channel it into a glorious fountain. The rainbow colors of this fountain are akin to divine energy, which now flows over your crown and subsequently all over your body like a luminous protective shield. Now, at all the energy centers, the chakras are rotating in the clockwise direction. All are bright, balanced, and stimulated. The inner and outer body are in perfect balance, powerful and secure. With that, we will end this meditation with the universal mantra Om again. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms together, cup your eyes, and slowly open your eyes. Hari Om.
Hari Om. So today the topic was a little heavy. I understand that. I hope I've done justice with the topic. If you've understood, if there's any confusion, you can ask me. And so,
Thank you so much, Preeti ji. It was really wonderful. Very, very nice. Question answer, Ravi ji. I have to leave for another meeting. So I would request you to please take the question answers, if any. Preeti ji, namaskar. I have to leave. Thank you so much. It was wonderful, and we'll see you next Friday.
and
We
I'm
do
so
have-
sorry for taking more time.
No, it's
I
okay.
have
It's,
gone over budget.
We'll try to keep it 9 to 10. But we have yoga at 11 today. But the
Okay.
link is
Mhm.
different. The link is different.
Okay.
And then tomorrow yoga at 11, and also the seniors technology class at 12, which Manav, Mansi and Manya take. So link is different. Please be aware of that, all participants. And thank you so much, Preeti ji, once again. Our gratitude and respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Vipin ji.